Good morning, everyone. I'm Jared Solomon, Chairman of Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness. Let's start. Representative Banta, why don't you lead us with the pledge?
Stand by. I.
Great thinking, Rep. Banta. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much for the flag. So we are doing a informational hearing on the 250th birthday of the U.S., which Senator Mastriano kicked us off yesterday in the Rotunda with a very moving tribute to those who are in the House and Senate, who have served and are currently serving. I think we all have an obligation as we honor 250 years of America and celebrating all things Commonwealth and country in 2026 to just reflect and honor those who have served. Then the rest of the world and nation is going to be turning to Pennsylvania in 2026. And I think yesterday's commemoration begins that effort. We forward along with that effort today. We will find every way to kind of redefine and rework how we honor and think about service in our Commonwealth. And that's what we're going to talk about with this informational hearing. We're trying to do that work on this committee. Next week, we're going to be considering an expansion of the tax exemption program. I think the senator and myself are finding different ways to expand how we think about service members, to drive more service members to here in the Commonwealth to live and work and raise a family. And we're going to try and use every tool possible to make sure that service members think of Pennsylvania first when they think about the best state in the nation to live, work, and raise a family. In addition, I want to see all of the members on this committee next year. We are going to be in every one of your counties because the America 250 Commission is going to be placing flags on every service member's grave marker throughout the Commonwealth. So all members of this committee, hopefully all members of the House and Senate, will be with us as we commemorate service. So many different ways to commemorate service, whether it's honoring fallen soldiers, whether it's redefining the work that we do on this committee. I just want everyone to be part of that effort. So thank you so much. Senator, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Chairman Solomon. Thanks for putting together this informational hearing to put out the word on the commemorations going on largely in Philadelphia this weekend on the 14th. You know, it's appropriate. William Penn obviously was a visionary that we'd be the seat of the nation. Also, the United States Army was born here. The seeds were planted for that. So to be here to recognize the 250th birthday in the Rotunda the other day with Colonel Gerald York, grandson of the great Sergeant Alvin York from 1918, World War I Medal of Honor fame, I think was appropriate and fitting. To have the commander of the 28th Division with us as well, General Wegscheider, was outstanding, knowing the history of the 28th Infantry Division, its storied career and history, and being the longest serving division in our Army, which is outstanding. Just down the road from us, of course, the Army Heritage Center is having commemorations Saturday as well. For those of you in better shape than me, they have a 5K run at 9 o'clock if you want to go. Registration's at 8. And they'll have a cake cutting at 10 a.m. in the museum and displays out in the area where they have their historic path. In the evening, I know there's a special event as well. So it's a great way to remember and honor. You know, when the children of Israel crossed over into the Holy Land under the command of Joshua, Yahweh told them for each tribe put a stone on the other side and pile it up. And, Joshua and the others like, why? So that when you pass by, you'll remember what God did for you. I think, Chairman Solomon, what we're doing is laying some memory stones down, what the Army did for our nation, for our people, and most importantly, honoring the sacrifice of those who've gone on before to ensure that this republic could endure. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Senator. Chairman Gillen.
Thank you very much. I read a list of the events that are coming up at Valley Forge and Independence Mall, and then also Historic Philadelphia, where my family has very strong roots. And the cake cutting ceremony immediately caught my 12-year-old's attention. So I think it's very possible that on June 14th I may be Independence Mall. I have to say, when I was growing up, I didn't quite realize why my dad was so big on beating Army. But he was a World War II Navy veteran, so I later understood that Army wasn't a bad word. And so much so that my daughter has joined the Army. So we're excited about the upcoming celebration, and we're very pleased to have presenters, I believe, online to share what's next. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Gillen. First up is Erica Learman, who is a veteran herself, Staff Sergeant, U.S. Army, retired. She is the Director of Marketing and Communication for the Association of the United States Army, and we are thrilled to have you here. Please provide some background about yourself, what your organization does, and then the events coming up this weekend. I turn it over to you, Erica.
Well, good morning, and thank you for having us and taking the time to actually sit down and hear about our event. We have been working tirelessly, and it's finally almost here. So, Erica Learman, I served in the Military Police Corps, and as a GWAT veteran, we struggled kind of immersing ourselves back into civilian world. So when I left active duty, moved home, I was really lost and needed that sense of family, that sense of brother and sisterhood that I was severely lacking. And so I immersed myself into the greater Philadelphia veterans community and started advocating for women veterans. It started with women homeless veterans, which then turned into just veterans homeless in Philadelphia. Then it turned into suicide, which actually led me to meet my husband, who founded a nonprofit that works on providing service dogs to wounded veterans at no cost. And then from there, just kind of stemmed my networking. And then Paul McCullough, who is the president of this chapter, reached out to me and said that he wanted my passion on the team for AUSA. So AUSA is the Association of the United States Army. We are not an entity of the Army or employed by the Army. We are just a big support system. So we support active duty, we support veterans, we serve retired National Guard, reservists, and their family. So we're just kind of like that gateway. So if you think about the bridge to Jersey, that's AUSA. We're connecting the two, making the Army reach outable and touchable. And that kind of is going to segue into this weekend. This weekend is an opportunity to celebrate our heritage, right? So Representative Jared, you said PA first. Well, we're saying Philly first, right? Philly was first. And there was an Army before there was an America. And so that's next year, right? So this year we need to celebrate how we have the opportunity to be in this country. But not only, the cake cutting is going to be great. There's going to be jumping out of airplanes. We have the SOCOM Paracommandos, and we have Fast Track's parachute team. But what we're really doing is focusing on the history, and not to knock our school system, but a lot of the kids, and I was a teacher in North Philly, really are lacking on the history. And we live here. The last time I was at the Liberty Bell before planning this was third grade. Okay, I'm 38 years old. So it was almost 30 years ago, and I live here. I live 5 minutes away. So we're trying to just kind of bring that back in and reintroduce, the most historic square mile in America, which is here in our state in Philadelphia. So all that's to say, this event is not political. It's just to honor and celebrate and have fun and bring it back to the roots where Philly was first and how we were founded and how our independence or the road to independence started. I don't want to insult your intelligence if you all read the email with the itemized schedule of events, the people who are going to be here, the really cool opportunities to see George Washington get commissioned. I mean, this guy is George Washington. He was at our press conference, and when he stepped off the elevator, everybody was like, what? So that's my brief synopsis. I'll pass it over to my teammate, Tom, and then we are happy to answer questions and see how we can get you all involved.
Tom, do you want to introduce
Okay.
yourself and take it away?
Yeah, not a problem, sir. I just didn't want to step on your toes. My name is Thomas Long. I was at E5. I actually served with Major General Wagscheider in Iraq, employed in 05 and 08. So you had a great person there to describe the history of the 28th Infantry Division. Wonderful man. I'm a 100% disabled veteran myself, two-time suicide survivor. So being a part of this and the history and all of the things that are going on, and the suicide prevention, everything that we do in this aspect of what AUSA encompasses and bringing the history, as Erica said, for this event is monumental. It is a once-in-a-lifetime event. I'm lucky if I get to see the 300th. I'll be 98 years old when that happens, but hopefully I'll be here. So this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing for almost everybody that's here speaking. And it's great to be a part of it. It's great to be involved in it. It's absolutely amazing. So I hope everybody can come out, be a part of it, be there. The events that she talked about, SOCOM jump teams, the cake cutting that the Representative Gilman talked about, and being there and being a part of it. We'll have 4 cakes. We'll have individuals cutting it with sabers from the 1st City Troop. We have so much history, so much built into this. We have the Philadelphia Eagles cheerleaders that are going to be there. Nate Boyer, Miss USA, First Lieutenant Alma Cooper will be there. This is a representation of not just the Army as being an entity inside this country, but being a part of the community and how we come together and where the Army started from the community itself to be able to give us our freedoms and our rights that we have today. As Erica pointed out with the history, that's the important part of bringing everybody together and knowing that, like Erica pointed out, the birthplace of the Army, the birthplace of the Navy, and the birthplace of the Marines are here, the same birthplace as the nation, but we came first. Please don't forget that Flag Day is also June 14th, which is something that we all want to celebrate and will be a part of. We have a ton of festivities, ton of things for the kids. So be out there, be a part of it. And, anything that you can do to help us get visibility, get promotion of what is going on so we can bring in as many people as possible to this event. Any of you that want to come down and be a part of our receptions on Friday in Valley Forge or Saturday at the historical 23rd and Randstead First City Troop location, which has a beautiful museum, if you've never been in there, to see the history of George Washington's cavalry and all of these individuals when they're dressed up in their garb is absolutely amazing. So I highly recommend any of you, if you can be there, be a part of it, come down, see us. We have worked, as Erica said, tirelessly to get all of this done and bring these things together. And we're honored to have been here to discuss with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Erica and Tom. Are there any questions for either of them? Representative Haddock.
And thank you for all the prep that you're doing. And I guess I have a question on the clarification. And Tom, you just alluded to something because we know that the Navy also this year and the Marines celebrate their 250th. And I've read in the paper where, of course, birthplace of America was Philadelphia. Your group is just the support for the Army. Are you also including the other service branches that are serving 250, or will that be separate? Because I believe there is a joint venture going on with the military. Could you clarify that, please?
Yeah, so the wonderful part of what they talked about earlier, America 250, is all encompassing. So that's beautiful for next year. But leading up to that, we were born first. So our event comes first. Then we also will highlight the homecoming 250, Mr. George Leone, who is help bringing the Navy and the Marines to light in October and November. They will have their event. It'll be a week-long event in October. I know Eric is cringing because we talk about it. But we bring support to them. They have brought support to us. They have supported our events. They have supported what's going on with us. And we love all of our military branches. So in October, there will be Fleet Week in Philadelphia, which will be phenomenal. We'll already be done our service celebration, so we don't have to worry about it. And then you have the Marines on November 10th, which will be celebrating their 250th birthday. They tried to have the Tongue Tavern built from last year to this year, but that's a little bit of an impossible task. But they still have the ground there that they're working on to get that built up. And just in case anybody didn't know, in all of the counties in Pennsylvania, America 250 is planting the Liberty trees that are saplings from the 400-year-old tree that got destroyed in the last hurricane that came up through the Northeast. But they do have the saplings. They are planting them in all 67 counties. And there will be a celebration on Sunday about the planting of the Liberty Tree in Washington Square inside Philadelphia.
Others, questions?
I hope that
Tom?
answered your question.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Mhm.
Just a quick one. Do you, the events this weekend, are there specific events that you would like to invite members to? What's the best way to get involved this weekend? And then secondly, moving forward, how can we best connect with your organization?
Yes. So first, obviously it's 3 days, but the bulk of the celebration will be on Saturday. And if you have it in front of you, the schedule of events, that is, 6 hours or so of just nonstop programming. So there are specific things that are happening at specific times, but in between, there's still going to be opportunities to do things. So, like Tom said, so the Eagles cheerleaders are going to be out there. Swoop is going to be out there. There's going to be a USO tent. They're going to do a salute to service event. Don't quote me, but I do believe that they are jumping in the sword that they are cutting the cakes with. And I actually had the honor of designing the 4 Army birthday cakes. And so if anyone's not familiar, it's going to be the oldest service member and youngest service member. They cut the cake together. And so now we have 4 cakes for these individuals. So what's that, 8? Doing math. So that's going to be very special. And then we have a mass reenlistment ceremony. So, we're talking 250. So we have 250 people enlisting. So raising their right hand right there on the mall. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it, right? We are the only branch of service that enlists soldiers on the Army birthday. And usually there's a handful, but 250 are being bussed in. 5 buses are coming down to infiltrate the mall, and it's going to be absolutely incredible seeing them all. They have matching T-shirts. So that's at 3:30, and then let me back up a little bit. The first opening ceremony. So we are partnering with an organization called Stripes and Stars, and it's part of that Society Park. So when Tom mentioned Flag Day, it's going to be a big flag ceremony, and that's where the Fast Tracks parachute team is going to jump out with the flag and do their display. And we're going to have, VIP remarks. And then the Army band or the Washington, D.C. band is going to be there. And then the evening is the Army TRADOC band. And then we also now have the Eagles drumline coming out to perform with them and the Gibson girls. So like I said, it's going to be an opportunity for your whole family. So if you don't understand any military customs and courtesies, that is not a requirement. I mentioned at the press conference that we are just turning the city into a party hall. We want everyone to consider everybody family. Everyone is welcome to join, to bring anybody. You are going to have opportunity to meet, 4-star generals, people who are like the change makers in our nation, the people who have direct influence, on our military. The Navy 250 homecoming team is going to be there. They are supporting us. We're just showing them how it's done so they can have their event later on this year. As you know, we're all playful with each other. And then the reception that evening, and you were all invited to it. So that's also going to be a really nice chance to network. It's not super formal, so don't think like Marine Corps ball, right? So just think more of like an Army reception. We're talking to each other. We're talking about the past. We're meeting people from different war eras, and it's just an opportunity to express our gratitude. It's when I just think about how amazing it is that this community has come together and Philadelphia is supporting, and that you're even here listening to us talk about it, it's a good feeling, right? And with all the chaos that's happening in the world, if we stay on this track and maintain this like change maker status and be motivated to invite our neighbors and friends to understand why we should care, I think that Saturday is going to be a good tell. So if you have kids or grandkids, there's going to be rock walls out there. There's going to be military vehicles, no tanks rolling down the street, but up armor vehicles out there on display. A lot of this stuff will be from First City Troop, things that they have in there. And it's just it's going to be fun, very family filled. So to answer your question, long answer, Saturday would be the day that we would love your support.
Thank you so much. Others? Chairman Gillen.
Yeah, as the dad of 5 daughters, I always ask this question: are any costs involved besides logical parking and things like that?
No, there are there's no cost. There might be a food truck or so, but there will be a food tent. But no, this is free. You just show up and have fun. Who else is going to be out there? So I failed to mention that Welcome America, Welcome America, they have their big event starting on Juneteenth, and they will be out there with their van promoting their event, and they are going to raffle off tickets for their July 4th concert as well. We wanted to really support each other there and really help them target the veteran audience or the veteran presence in Philadelphia, because it's unfortunate, we're really lacking in front-facing opportunities. So part of my role and Tom's role is to really get out there and give us a face and give us a personality, that we're not scary military people. We're just friendly human beings, happy Philadelphians, happy veterans, and we want people to come learn and join the Army, right? So long story short, this really is a recruitment tool as well. We have a lot of heavy hitters coming in from the recruiting battalions that are local, obviously with the 250, so we want to keep building our Army.
Thank you.
Very briefly, also, I'm sorry. I'm sure certain venues have a limited capacity, like Christ Church. Could somebody watch that online if they cannot get in or they're not able to get there at 7:30 in the morning?
So we are going to have a live stream. We are not certain of how amazing that's going to be, because it's generally going to be a tripod with someone's device streaming it. However, if you are worried about crowds for that day, I would not be concerned. We are originally, when we started planning this, we were preparing for 50,000 across the weekend or over the weekend for attendance purposes. So space isn't really an issue. Most of everything that we are doing will be outside. I will say today, though, we did discuss, if you wanted to be a part of the commissioning on Sunday, if you wanted to be on the insider part of that commissioning ceremony, we do have to put your name on the VIP list because you need a pass. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of like in the spectator seat. So we, as a team, Tom and I have the opportunity to invite certain individuals if they want to be kind of on the inside and really get close up and personal and feel this event. Does that answer your question?
Okay, Erica, Tom, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to the committee. Thanks for being here. We're going to adjourn this meeting. See you guys next week. Oh, wait, before we go, there will be a voting meeting on Monday, June 16th, 11 o'clock on the tax exemption bill, Representative Probst 1257. There will be a joint information meeting with Judiciary on Wednesday, June 25th, 10 a.m., Majority Caucus Room on Veterans Treatment Courts. And finally, there may be a voting meeting on Thursday, June 26th, and Monday, June 30th. So just some housekeeping notes. Thank you, everybody.